Now, all you theologians, doctors, and poets may examine the learning of this girl in all directions. Spare no pains in exhibiting your own scholarship and erudition. What is your name?
I am called Sympathy the Learned.
Tell me, Sympathy, in which of the various branches of knowledge do you excel?
My master, I have studied syntax, poetry, civil and canon law, music, astronomy, geometry, arithmetic, the law concerning inheritance, and the rules of versification. I am acquainted with architecture, logic, and philosophy, with eloquence, language, rhetoric, and the rules of versification. I have carried my education so far that only those who have worn out their lives in study may see it, as it were, upon the far horizon. Now, tell me, which of you is the most learned in the Quran and the traditions of our prophet, upon whom be prayer and peace?
I am that man.
Then let us begin. Ask me what you will of your own subject.
Who is your Lord?
My Lord is Allah.
Who is your prophet?
Muhammad, upon whom be prayer and peace, is my prophet.
What is your orientation?
Mecca.
Who are your brothers?
All believers are my brothers.
Since you claim to know the Book of Allah, can you give me an example of your study?
The Quran is composed of 114 chapters, 70 of which are dictated at Mecca and 44 at Medina. It is divided into 621 divisional decades and 6,236 verses. It contains 79,439 words and 323,670 letters, to each of which contain 10 special virtues. The names of 25 prophets are mentioned: Adam, Noah, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Elisha, Jonah, Lot, Salih, Hud, Shuaib, David, Solomon, Kilkithel, Idris, Elias, Yahya, Zacharias, Job, Moses, Aaron, Abraham, Jesus, and Muhammad. Upon all of these be prayer and peace. And the names of 9 birds or beasts are mentioned: the gnat, the bee, the fly, the cuckoo, the crow, the grasshopper, the ant, the bulbul, and the bird of Jesus, upon whom be prayer and peace, which is none other than the bat.
Very precise. Tell me, how do you know that there is a God?
By reason,
And where is the seat of reason?
in the heart, from whence inspiration rises to the brain.
What is the aim of prayer?
It lifts my soul towards its home places.
Ya Allah! That is an excellent reply. What is the value of prayer?
It sustains faith.
What is the utility of prayer?
True prayer has no terrestrial use whatsoever, but it lightens the heart.
An admirable reply. Tell me, what is the meaning of the words to fast?
To abstain,
What is the meaning of the words to give?
to enrich oneself,
To go on pilgrimage?
to attain the end,
To make war?
defend oneself.
Speak to me of holy war.
A holy war is one fought against the infidels when Islam is in danger. It may only be fought for defensive purposes, never offensive.
What is the principal aim of life?
To cultivate enthusiasm.
In truth, I am short of questions and arguments. This young woman astonishes me with her knowledge and clarity.
I would like, in my turn, to ask you one question. If you cannot answer, it will be my right to take away the distinctive garment which you wear as a learned reader of the book.
I am Seth.
What are the 17 branches of Islam?
17? The first sage reflected for an hour.
If you can give us an answer, the rope belongs to you.
They are observance of the book's teachings, confirmations with the traditions of the prophets, avoidance of injustice, to eat permitted food, never to eat unpermitted food, repentance, study of religion, to do good to enemies, to be modest, to comfort the servants of Allah, to pardon when one is strong, to be patient in misfortune, to know Allah, to know his prophet, upon whom be prayer and peace, to resist the suggestions of the evil one, to fight the wicked instincts of the soul, to be wholly bound in confidence to the service of Allah.
I am vanquished.
Who is next?
You should go.
Yeah! You got it! Oh, come on!
You have spoken of things of the spirit. Let us turn to the things of the body and the world. What do you think of fruit?
It is the healthiest of foods.
Give an exact account of population.
Lord, I am able to answer this honorable doctor, but the honorable doctor is attempting to shame me into silence.
Speak freely. No one will laugh at you.
Copulation is the act which unites the sexes of man and woman. It is an excellent thing, having many values and conferring many benefits. It lightens the body, cures melancholy, tempers the heat of passion, attracts love, contents the heart, consoles in absence, and cures insomnia.
What lives always in prison, yet dies when it breathes the free air? Also, what are the best fruits?
The first, the fish. The second, citrons and pomegranates.
What breathes, and yet is lifeless?
The morning, for in the book it says the morning breathes
Yes,
as...
yes, thank you. Solve the following problem if you can. A flock of pigeons are alighted upon a tree. Some upon the upper branches, some upon the lower. The ones upon the upper say to the ones upon the lower, if one of you flies up to us, our number will be double yours. But if one of us flies down to you, our numbers will be equal. You may take
There are 12 pigeons in all, 7 upon the upper branches and 5 upon the lower. If one of the lower were to fly up to the upper, there would be 8 above, which is the double of 4. But if one of the higher flew down to the lower, there would be 6 in each position. But Allah is all-knowing.
Do you think we'll have rain this month?
Commander of the faithful, I will not speak unless I have permission to reveal all of my thoughts.
It is permitted.
Then I ask you to lend me your sword for a moment, so I may cut off the head of this astronomer who is an agnostic and unbeliever. There are 4 things that I must teach you only Allah knows. The hour of our death, the sex of a child in its mother's womb, what will happen tomorrow, and whether or not we will have rain.
My question was asked to test you.
Yeah, it was.
Now, answer my question. What are the 3 classes of stars?
3 classes of stars.
The stars are divided into 3 classes. The first are fixed like torches in the celestial vault that they may light the earth. The second are invisibly suspended in the air that they may illuminate the sea. The third moves at will between the fingers of Allah. We see them passing through the air at night. Give me your robe.
Young lady, I am the most learned man of our century, and I am ready to hear you declare yourself vanquished, and that it is unnecessary to question you further.
And I advise you send for garments other than the ones which you have on, for in a moment I will have taken those from you.
that remains to be seen. Answer this riddle. When I drink, eloquence issues from my lips. I walk and I speak in silence. In my lifetime, I am never honored, and after my death, I am not regretted.
A pen.
I am a bird, yet I have neither blood, flesh, feather, nor down. It is hard to tell whether I am alive or dead. My colors are silver and gold.
You have taken far too many words to signify a simple egg. Ask me something more difficult.
Exactly how many words did Allah say to Moses?
1,515.
What is the origin of creation?
Allah made Adam from mud, mud from foam, foam from the sea from darkness, darkness from light, the light from fish, the fish from a ruby, the ruby from a rock, the rock from water, and the water, he said, by saying, let it be.
There are 2 friends who have never enjoyed each other's company, though they lie in each other's arms each night. They are guardians of the house and only separate in the morning.
The 2 leaves of a door.
By Allah, that is an admirable reply.
Now answer me, master of riddles. She is slim, tender, and of delicate taste. She is straight as a lance, yet not a lance's sharpness. Her sweetness is useful on an evening in Ramadan.
My lord, it is well known that no woman is permitted.
Give me your robe.
My lord!
Sugarcane is the answer. Give me your robe.
Come on!
May I examine you?
I would be delighted.
What is sweeter than honey?
The love of children,
What is sharper than a sword?
the tongue,
Joy of a moment.
the joy of love,
Joy of the week.
the joy of marriage,
What is the desolation of life?
poverty,
What is the most precious thing after health?
friendship,
What is the strength of the heart?
joy,
What is the strength of the mind?
truth,
What is the strength of the body?
submission,
What is desire?
poison,
Charm,
an empty room,
madness.
a road we have forgotten,
What comes to us all in the end?
happiness,
What makes kings?
words,
What makes the world?
words,
What can destroy an empire?
words.
Will you marry me and be my queen?
No,
Could compel you.
I know.
I will give you 500,000.
No. I am a noble woman of free birth. I have not always lived like this. This boy you see holding my parasol is my brother. When my father died, he left us an abundant fortune, but my brother squandered our inheritance. He has no brains at all and no use but to shade me from the sun. Yet, as Allah lives, I love him, and because my hidden heart is foolish, I will not leave him.
I have 100 slaves to hold your parasol.
And hate them, and leave my brother his only task. For if you deprive him of it, he may die of shame. I beg you, deny us your great offer and send us on our way.
My child.
Kings do not need sympathy. You must lie with those less fortunate.
That sympathy was a clever girl. And yet I think you were more clever still. For you have remembered all she has said and more. Tell me, what did she mean there at the end?
I might be able to explain, my lord, but I see my father is in the doorway, waiting with my shroud.
You may wait another day, I think.
May I not speak to him?
No.
How is your heart tonight, my lord? Is it covered or uncovered?
Uncovered, I think.
Could you bear a sad tale then?
Yes, provided it is well stuffed with poems.
Listen, then, and I will tell you the story of when Harun al-Rashid met himself upon the water.
Met himself.
One night, when that great wise king felt dark within his heart, he said to his vizier,
Jafar, I have the desire to walk the quiet night streets of Baghdad as far as the Tigris.
I will accompany you as always, my lord, along with Master, your sword bearer. Shall we disguise ourselves as merchants once again?
the three left the palace by a secret door and walked in disguise through the quiet streets of Baghdad, city of peace and poets, upon which be eternal blessing. Sometimes in that dark night they believed they had lost their way, until they came to the riverbank of the gentle Tigris.
Old man, we would be very much obliged to you if you would take us on board your little boat and row us about for a while in the river so that we may enjoy the delicacy of the night breeze. Here is a dinar for your trouble.
What are you asking, gentlemen? Don't you know the order? Don't you hear the bell of the Khalifa's boat coming toward us even now?
Old man, that boat cannot possibly contain the Khalifa himself.
As Allah lives, is there anyone in Baghdad who cannot recognize the Khalifa, our own Harun al-Rashid, with his vizier Jafar al-Masrur, his sword?
We are strangers on our travels and we yet not know the Khalifa. Take us on board so that we may meet him.
Are you mad? The Khalifa has issued an order forbidding anybody, great or small, young or old, noble or simple, to be upon the river. Whoever disregards this order shall have their head cut off.
Here are 2 dinars. Put us in your little boat and row under one of the sunken arches of the bridge. We must see this Khalifa.
Climb aboard. Be silent.
I have not been on the river in a year, Jafar, and never have I issued any such order.
Hurry. I hear the boats even now. There they are. The Khalifa, Jafar, and the noble Masroor.
Old man, are you sure the Khalifa goes on this illuminated boat like this every night?
Indeed, my goods. He has done so for the past year.
We are strangers on our travels with a strong taste for beautiful and interesting things. Here are 10 dinars. Row us in the track of that boat. You need not have fear, for we are in darkness and they are in bright light. I want to see this beautiful illumination for as long as possible.
They followed the Mach Khalifa along the river until they came to a part which sloped down to the shore. The Mach Khalifa disembarked with his company. The old man hid his boat in the gloom, and the Khalifa's company disembarked as well. They'd only gone 20 paces when they were recognized as intruders.
Who are you? How and why have you come here?
We are strangers on our travels and arrived in Baghdad today. Walking at random, came to this place without knowing this garden was forbidden.
Since you are strangers, you need have no fear. Had it been otherwise, you would certainly have had your heads cut off. Come with us now. Be our guest for the evening.
They entered a magnificent hall lined with yellow silk, and the Mach Khalifa seated himself at a golden throne.
How weary I am after spending the whole day doing judgment, receiving wazirs, chamberlains, amirs, and lieutenants, and forwarding the affairs of state. Let us have some music.
I'm drunk with love, but the cup is held to my lips, and I must drink again. Why should I not wander in these ways, forgetting food? There's no joy in all these roads, for I cannot be my beloved, or one who has known my beloved, or one who has known my beloved.
So Allah lives? Did you see his back? It's a pity so noble a man should bear the scars of whips. Certain sign that he's an escaped criminal.
Why this air of astonishment and these whispers?
My friend was just saying that he has journeyed over many lands and seen the fashion of their kings without finding any as generous as our host. He also expresses astonishment at seeing you tear a robe which must have been worth at least 10,000 dinars.
You shall receive 10,000 dinars for that compliment, and a robe such as this as well.
Ask him the cause of the scars.
It'd be better to be
Ask him now.
What is this great secret of yours?
Nothing but good.
Tell me what you're saying.
My friend noticed that your back has been cut about with rods and whips, a sign which greatly astonished him. He was anxious to know what terrible adventures has caused our master the Khalifa to receive such a punishment.
Clear the room. Since you are strangers, I will tell you what you want to know. But you must bring my secret to the grave. Swear to me.
I swear.
My lords, I am not Harun al-Rashid, Khalifa of Baghdad, but simply Aziz, the son of the chief of Baghdad jewelers. I have enough money to sustain all this, yet it is nothing but shadow. I had an orphan cousin named Aziza, whose father, when he died, requested that she marry me. My parents had us always together so that we became inseparable. We slept in the same bed all our lives in innocence, yet, looking back, I think Aziza knew more than I about such things. For sometimes she pushed her thighs up against mine, and sometimes she lay upon my back in the morning, and once she kissed me here. On the day of our wedding, as I was returning from the baths, fresh scented and ready, I had remembered a friend I had forgotten to invite, and I began to walk quickly to his house, but I lost my way.
Ah, how hot it is.
I sat to rest.
Ah, how hot it is.
And then that handkerchief was enough to cover up my whole life. I was insane with love for the unknown.
Ah, how cool the night breeze is.
I waited for her return.
The stars came out.
I waited for her return.
Aziz, you missed our wedding and your father's furious. He forbids us to marry for another year. All our guests, the emirs, the merchants, and the Qadi waited for a long time and then left. Why have you behaved in this way?
I am in love.
Oh?
I am in love with the unknown.
What has happened?
I told her everything, including all the signs the unknown woman gave to me, to which I did not understand.
My lucky cousin, this lady loves you just as surely as you love her. The signs she gave you mean she has a passion for you, and she promises a meeting in 2 days.
You see, gentlemen, my cousin loved me so that she devoted herself into helping my pursuit. And she was right in every way. So I met the unknown woman again and again, and each time she would not speak, but communicate in signs, incomprehensible to me, but clear to Aziza. A mirror placed in a bag.
Setting sun.
A ball.
She fears her heart is idle in the air.
A lantern extinguished.
The need to be discreet.
Some lotus beans.
From the tree of Job, father of patience, she reminds you that this virtue is necessary for lovers.
Oh, Aziza, my heart is breaking. How much longer must I wait?
Lovers often have to suffer and endure through years and years of waiting. You've only had to wait a month. Perfume yourself with musk for her.
At last, after many trials and proofs, all communicated in sign, the unknown woman yielded to me. She led me to her house.
Never betray her, my cousin. Never betray her. And remember, when you finally have her in your arms, be sure to say these lines to her. If the red beating heart could speak, you would hear it saying that love is weak and very weak, and the end of love is breaking. Though in all indiscretion there is death, too much discretion can cut short the breath. Say these lines and say them whole to the other woman who destroyed my soul, and she will understand.
As Allah lives, she who said these lines to is now dead. I trust she was no relation of yours, for I tell you,
She's my betrothed, the daughter of my uncle.
What are you saying? Why do you lie? It can't be true. If she were your betrothed, you would have loved her.
But it is true.
As Allah lives, if I had known, I would never have taken her man away from her. Tell me, did she know of our meetings?
It was she who explained all your signs to me. I would have never won you, but for her good counsel and advice.
And you have caused her death, Aziz.
It isn't true.
My son, tell me in what way you broke Aziz's heart. Tell me how you killed her.
I did not kill her. How was I to know she loved me in that way?
She left something for you when she died.
Let me see it.
No. She made me promise not to give it to you until you had truly grieved. And you have not truly grieved.
I left my mother's house and returned to the garden of my beloved. Instead of mourning Aziza, I forgot myself in pleasure, while my beloved built a marble tomb for Aziza. All went well for a year, until one day, as I was returning from the baths, I saw a girl in a door to a garden. And from the loose strings of her drawers, it was clear to me she had been engaging in some very pleasant activity, alone.
Come into my house, stranger. Come in and pass the time of day with me.
Never betray her. Never betray her. Never betray her.
My child.
Don't be afraid.
Never betray
What harm is there?
Never betray her. Never betray her.
She was a young girl, lifting her robe in the garden. There was no sin a lover of love could not pardon. She was as narrow as virtue, as easy as flying. But I was only halfway in when her petulant sigh stopped me, and I asked why.
Never betray her. Never
Why?
Never betray her.
And she said with a laugh,
Moon of my eyes, I sigh for your other half.
farewell, sweet girl.
Where do you think you are going? Do you think that the door of freedom is as large as the door of entrance?
Undeceive yourself, silly Aziz. The door to my house opens only once a year.
So I stayed there a year, living as an animal, eating, drinking, and making love. But at the end of 12 months, I heard the door groaning on its hinges, and I ran into the street. I came back to the garden of my beloved, and there she was. I had never seen a face so sad.
Miserable wretch! I know where you've been. Do you think I'm as patient as Aziza? Do you think I'm just gonna pine away and die for your infidelities? Detestable Aziz, you are like a buck who is too much in heat. Slaves!
10 women set upon me, gentlemen, and they tied me down, and with a hot knife, they unmanned me. They threw me from the house. I ran back to the girl behind the door, but she would not have me.
Aziz, you've lost all that was ever valuable in you.
I see now you have truly grieved. Here is the letter from Aziza.
I unfolded that old paper and began to read.
Not say that I had a secret for your ears, but my eyes said so. I could not say that you had caused my tears, but my eyes said so. I could not say my fingers mean I love you. I could not say my brows are meant to move you. I could not say my heart is here to prove you, but my eyes said so.
How many times have I heard that voice since?
I could not say I had a secret for your ears, but my eyes said so.
I could not say
I
I
could
had
not
a
say
secret
these
for
tears,
your ears,
but
but
my
my
eyes
eyes
said
said
so.
so.
I could not say
was here to prove to you that my eyes said so.
You taught my heart to burn while you were suppressing. You left my eyes to all the more I slept. Why did you go away, my love, my love? Why did you leave me all alone? Why did you go away, my love, my love? Why did you not let me see it all, love?
I beat myself, gentlemen, for shame. And it is such great shame that compels me to borrow the robes of majesty. For when I ride out upon the Tigris, and I gaze upon myself, on the reflection of the illuminated water, I dream I am a Khalifa, not just a fool. A fool who lost Aziza. How perfect it must be to be a Khalifa, to be Harun al-Rashid. How perfect just to be someone else.
It is dawn, my lord, and my father is here with my shroud. My lord?
Tell me stories, many stories, and tell me quick.
But on the
831st.
night to come, she said, there was once in the antiquity of time, in the passage of age, and of the moment,
An infamous man named Bilateral, whose favorite poem was, not to hear the fools who said, you love too fair a being. Not to see the shaking head wag he trusted to a seeing. I stopped myself with the enchanted song. Though death come after, there is no need to fear. Life is long and made for laughter. But then one day, he saw the fairest young man on earth.
Allah al-Din Abu Shamat lived his whole life up to that one moment in the cellar of his parents' house.
I must trick this fine young man into journeying into the desert. I will teach his friends to sing.
Listen, I'm gonna take everything we own, furniture, cows, buffalo goats, chickens, money,
Four.
everything.
Sing the joys of vagabonding. All that's beautiful travels far. One must leave the ocean's bonding and be drawn to where the merchants are. Far beyond the sandy beaches, before it shows and flows and reaches the dreamline neck of some young girl. Oh!
Allah al-Din Abu Shamat felt so ashamed that he never traveled, that he sailed off at once and rode for the desert.
Where he was immediately set upon by thieves!
Let's go to the threshing floor and plant flails. I'll go first.
Bilateral came across him in the desert, half naked. His heart was sick, for he found himself to be the cause of his misfortune. Everything! Gold rust. He's considered a life. Gold is lost, and life is spared. That is the sin. Your sin could die. Think of everything. Come with me. I will clothe you in
No choice but to accept the kindness of my life.
They went to supper, but he
It's gonna do things on their heads.
I will give it to you for nothing.
Dear boy, don't you know? Lust is not content with blood. Kisses, taken from pure lips, not content with wedded hands. Lust must have a thing of dances. Lust must have a thing of drips.
I cannot understand why you harp upon this one string. I can only repeat that the day I saw this
Two teams flying through the air, arguing.
I tell you, cousin, you've never seen a prince so fair as the one I've just left behind. Prince Kamar al-Zaman.
And I tell you, cousin, if you were to see my princess, even in a dream, you would fall into an epilepsy and bubble like a camel.
First, Jimmy agreed it would be best to take the
I thank you people that have kept my good regard for ages. And I give you the hand of my only daughter in marriage, and because of her delicious movie, I take your sister to be my queen. It is permitted.
Sleeper, the palm tree drinks the breathless noon. A golden bee sucks at a fainting rose. Your lips smile in their sleep. Oh, do not move.
Sleeper, oh, do not move. The gilded gauze which lies about your golden eyes scare. The sun's gold fire leaping from your hair, as dark as the separation of friends.
Oh, do not move your breasts in sleep. They dip and fall like waves at sea. Your breasts are snow, I breathe them like sea foam. I taste them like white salt. They dip and fall.
Sleeper, they dip and fall. The smiling stream stifles its laugh. The gold bee on the leaf dies of much love and rosy drunkenness. My eyes burn the red grapes upon your breast.
Oh, let them burn. Let my heart flower, fed on the rose and santal of your flesh. Burst like a poppy in this solitude, in this cool silence.
Scheherazade, marvelous girl! You've lifted the veil from my heart. You must never leave me now. You must stay here by me always and whisper in my ear only to me. You are safe here now, I swear.
I know the hour is late, my king, but I have one more story to tell. One very subtle tale. Let it be 1,000 nights and one night before you grow weary of me.
I shall never
Then
grow
listen,
weary.
and I will tell you the tale of the forgotten melody. It has been passed down to us through the writings of Ashok of Mosul, the great musician of our time, that. One night,
I went to visit Harun al-Rashid and met a stranger there, a sheik from Al-Hijaz.
Honorable musician, you'll be pleased to know this man, for he is Al-Fadl, the grandson of Muhammad al-Hijaz.
A benediction! Prayer and peace be upon the grandson of the most accomplished musician of our time.
And perhaps if you are agreeable to him, he will teach you one of his grandfather's many songs. He has a fine memory and a charming voice.
Most noble Sheikh Al-Fadl, would it be too much to ask of you to name just how many songs your grandfather composed?
Only 60.
And would it be trespassing too far upon your patience for you to name your favorite?
Easily the finest of them all is the 43rd.
And without hesitation, he picked up his lute and began to sing. And as he sang, the walls of the room came in closer to listen. And time was frozen in my blood, and I left the prison of my skin to become something other than myself. How can I describe it? How can I? How?
Would you like to play it over with me, or shall I have it transcribed? I leave for Medina tomorrow, and I doubt I shall pass this way again.
No. I shall remember that. I will remember that all my life. Thank you, Sheikh Al-Fadl, and your most noble grandfather Mabad, blessed among musicians. I hurried home at once, and stuffed pillows and carpets in the windows and by the door. This ancient song, which no one else had heard, shall now be mine, and I shall keep it for myself, and play it only for myself, in solitude. I took down my own lute and tuned it to perfection. But as Allah lives, I could not remember that air which had moved me so. I could not remember, but one note of it could not even call to mind the mode in which it had been written. Normally I can retain 100 couplets and their melody after listening but once and with a negligent ear. But this time, it was as if an impenetrable woolen curtain had fallen between the music and my mind. Night and day I racked my brains and spurred them to remember, but it was useless. At last, in despair, I left behind my lute and all my singing lessons with students. when journeying throughout Basra, through Mosul and Baghdad, and at last throughout the entirety of Iraq, questioning the oldest singers on Mabad's 43rd song, but none of them knew it, nor could help but do it. Rather than be ridden eternally by this obsession, I made up my mind to cross the desert to far Medina, to find the sheikh himself, and beg him to sing me the song just one more time. I was in Basra, riding along the river when I came to this decision. Three young men suddenly appeared from nowhere.
A benediction, traveler!
Let go, let go!
Will you not answer us?
Oh, please, just let me go.
Where is your passion for Mabad's 43rd song, Ishak? Have you given up your search? We were behind the curtain of the harem, Ishak. We watched you when that old man sang his song. Ishak, I thought you had gone mad.
I am madder now than ever trying to find that song. Please, I beg of you, just let me be.
If I could sing you that song, would you still go to Medina?
I would give anything to hear that song again, even if it were cut or sung off the key. I would give 10 years of my life just to hear one note of that song.
Ah, Ishak, we know your character. We know the greed with which you hoard your own compositions. No pupil has ever learned more than one song from your own lips, or been allowed to sing more than one song of which you have made yourself.
But my songs are my greatest possession.
Ishak, how can you think that it is you who sings or plays, or that it is even Al-Fadl of Medina, or Mabad of Al-Hijaz? It is not they, nor you, nor I. Don't you know that it is God?
Mistress.
Ishak, how can you have forgotten that it is God? You must promise me that if I teach you the 43rd, you will willingly sing it and every other song you know to whomever you may meet upon the road.
Mistress, I swear it. And should I meet no one upon the road, I shall sing it to the rocks, and to the trees, and to the river, and to the sky itself.
And
so she said,
Then listen.
And she began that song at half voice in my ear, and her two companions began to dance. And the vaults of heaven came in closer to listen, and the trees began to dance, and the stars began to dance, and the river and all its life began to dance.
What is it? 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 Scheherazade, it is dawn, and your father has come with your shroud.
My lord.
How can that poor old man have lived so long in a silent house? How he must have suffered. How frightened he must have been. For your sake, all this time.
My lord.
You and Dunyazad must go now and comfort him in his old age. The door is open, Scheherazade. My bride, you must go now.
But my lord, what should my father think of me if I were to abandon my little children?
What do you mean? What children?
Took her up and sat her by his side.
She sent Dunyazad from the room.
But before she could explain,
Dunyazad returned.
She had with her 3 small children.
a boy, 1 year old,
And infant twin girls.
Born during the long days of sympathy to learn.
and hidden from the king.
What is there not to love?
Everyone rejoiced.
Scheherazade's father, the vizier, was sent for.
And told to put away her shroud.
And Dunyazad was married.
The king's brother Shahzaman.
And they lived year after year in all delight,
knowing each day more admirable than the last.
And the nights over Baghdad were whiter than the days.